Your blood pressure's biggest trigger may be hiding under your right ribs, the liver. Left unchecked, everyday foods and refills can quietly push numbers higher and drain your energy. Stay with me for a calm, practical path that promises a safe way to ease the strain and feel steadier. I want to start with a simple shift that changed the way I look at blood pressure. Instead of staring only at the heart and arteries, I turned the spotlight to the quiet worker under the right ribs, the liver. When this organ is overloaded, it doesn't shout. It whispers in chemistry. Those whispers about fluids, hormones, and inflammation can nudge pressure up day after day until the cuff starts telling a different story. And here's my promise for those who stay with me to the end of our journey. There will be a practical bonus you can use immediately: a salt-free, flavor-rich barbecue rub and a 15-second nutrition label checklist that make everyday meals both delicious and kinder to your blood pressure. Because yes, small choices add up, especially in a culture of drive-through dinners, bottomless soda refills, game day wings, and family-sized snacks that often live on our desks. Let's make this useful. The liver helps set the stage for how tightly your blood vessels hold or relax by coordinating how much fluid your body keeps, how you handle sugars and fats, and how your body responds to everyday inflammation. If that sounds abstract, picture it like this. The liver manages a backstage control panel. Too much added sugar, too little fiber, and a steady drip of sodium from deli meats, frozen entrees, and restaurant sauces turn knobs toward retain fluid, stiffen vessels, and store fat. Over time, that control panel programs your pressure to run a little higher, quietly, predictably. You don't have to overhaul your life to shift the panel back. Start with 3 small pivots many North Americans find doable. First, make your default drink water or sparkling water with a squeeze of citrus. Nursing a large sweet tea or a second energy drink keeps the liver busy converting excess fructose and managing caffeine spikes. Second, aim for a fiber anchor at every meal. Oatmeal with blueberries at breakfast, a bean and veg bowl with brown rice at lunch, a simple chili, roasted vegetables, or a baked potato with olive oil and herbs at dinner. Fiber helps the liver process fats and keeps sugar curves smoother, which matters a lot for pressure. Third, try the 5-second sodium rule when you pick packaged foods. Choose items where the sodium in milligrams is less than or equal to the calories per serving. That quick filter eliminates many sneaky offenders without math gymnastics. There's also the question of pace. Late-night pizza, a big glass of cola, and falling asleep on the couch create a tug-of-war the liver usually loses. Consider finishing your last meal 2 to 3 hours before bed and taking a gentle 10-minute walk after dinner. It's not a boot camp move. It's a signal to your metabolism that the day is winding down, and the liver can move from emergency mode to maintenance mode. Now, an important safety note, delivered calmly. Natural does not mean limitless. Teas can be brewed too strong, supplements can be dosed too high, and even healthy foods can be prepared in ways that backfire. For example, tossing a salt-heavy seasoning blend on a lean grilled chicken turns a good idea into a sodium bomb. That's why we'll keep preparation and quantities specific whenever we talk about recipes. Health content deserves that level of care. As you practice these shifts, you may notice subtle wins before your cuff numbers change. Less bloating after salty meals, steadier energy in the afternoon, and less late-night thirst. Those are quiet green lights from your liver. Keep going. We'll continue to build with simple, practical steps that respect your routine. Grocery runs at big box stores, backyard cookouts, office snacks, road trip breakfasts. The goal is not perfection. It's consistent nudges in the right direction. And because consistency needs flavor, remember the bonus waiting at the end. A bold, salt-free BBQ rub that makes grilled vegetables, fish, and lean meats pop, plus a tiny checklist that keeps you from getting tricked by packaging claims. You'll see how much easier it becomes to say yes to foods that love your liver back. Before we move forward, a reminder in plain language. I'm sharing educational guidance, not a diagnosis. If you take prescription medicines, have kidney or liver disease, or are pregnant, personalize these ideas with a qualified professional. Education plus supervision is a strong combination. Here's our gentle cliffhanger. We've opened the door to the control room. Next, we'll look closely at one hidden wire on that panel, the way liver chemistry can nudge blood vessels and fluid balance toward higher readings, and what to do about it using everyday foods you already know. The following tip is among the most important ones in this journey. Ignoring it won't just reduce your results, it can introduce avoidable side effects. I'll keep it informative and balanced so you can apply it safely. Let's build on the simple idea you've already started to practice. When the liver's control panel is tuned toward balance, blood pressure often follows. To understand why, imagine two dials. One dial controls vessel tension, the other, how much fluid your body holds. The liver influences both. It makes proteins that become messengers in the body's pressure-regulating network. It also helps determine how your body handles sodium, sugar, and fat, the everyday inputs that can tighten those dials when we lean on takeout, ultra-processed snacks, and oversized beverages. Here's a plain English tour. When the liver gets crowded with fat, something surprisingly common in people who feel otherwise healthy, its signals change. Sugar is handled less smoothly, insulin has to shout louder, and inflammation quietly rises. That trio makes blood vessels less responsive and encourages the kidneys to hold on to more fluid. At the same time, the liver supplies building blocks for hormones that, in excess, narrow vessels and push pressure up. Think of it as background noise that slowly becomes the soundtrack. The good news is that everyday choices can soften that soundtrack. Start with breakfast. Swapping a sugary cereal for oatmeal topped with cinnamon, ground flaxseed, and berries upgrades your fiber before 9 a.m. That single move reduces the liver's workload, steadies post-meal glucose, and sets up smoother pressure later in the day. Midday, choose a bowl built around beans, lentils, or chickpeas with colorful vegetables, brown rice or quinoa, and a drizzle of olive oil. The combination of soluble fiber and polyphenols supports the liver's cleanup crew while keeping you satisfied, so you're not prowling for pretzels and cookies an hour later. Hydration matters too, not just how much but what. Energy drinks are designed to be loud, high caffeine, often with added sugars or sweeteners. That jolt can tighten vessels and mask fatigue, especially during long work days or late-night study sessions. Trade the second can for sparkling water with lime, unsweetened iced tea, or coffee without syrups and whipped toppings. If you enjoy fruit juice, dilute it half and half with water. Your liver notices the difference. Let's talk about surprises. Everyday things that seem harmless, but can change the pressure story. Real licorice candy, made with glycyrrhizin, and some teas or supplements containing licorice root, can raise blood pressure if used regularly. It's natural, yes, but that doesn't make it neutral. Some detox blends are concentrated enough to irritate the liver if taken without guidance, and very high-dose green tea extracts can be a problem for a small number of people. The goal here isn't fear, it's clarity. If you like herbal teas, keep them mild and vary the types. If you use supplements, choose reputable sources and stick to labeled doses. More is not better. Sodium deserves its own moment because it hides in plain sight. A grilled chicken breast sounds like a smart choice until it's soaked in a brine, rubbed with a salty seasoning, and served with a side of pickles and a bun treated with dough conditioners that carry extra sodium. To navigate without stress, keep the 5-second rule from earlier within reach. Pick packaged foods in which milligrams of sodium are less than or equal to calories. Pair that with a habit of tasting your food before adding salt, and swap high-sodium condiments for herbs, citrus, vinegar, and pepper blends. Your taste buds adapt faster than you think, and the liver appreciates the lighter load. Evening routines can either fortify or fray your progress. A heavy late dinner with soda or cocktails followed by screen time and a slumped nap on the couch pushes your system toward overnight fluid retention and poor sleep. Both nudge pressure upward. Try finishing meals a couple of hours before bed, dimming lights, and taking a calm 10-minute walk. If you enjoy backyard barbecue culture, keep the meat portions sensible. Pile on grilled vegetables and use a salt-free rub. That familiar smoky flavor satisfies without the sodium spike. A small dessert of fresh fruit with a spoon of yogurt offers sweetness without the roller coaster. One more lever that often gets ignored: consistent movement. You don't need exhausting workouts to help the liver. Short, frequent bouts, a brisk walk after lunch, light resistance bands while dinner roasts, a few bodyweight squats between emails, operate like tiny pumps that keep blood vessels responsive and glucose steady. That mechanical signal complements everything you do in the kitchen. As we keep the tone practical, here's a gentle safety reminder. If you take medication for blood pressure, do not stop or change doses based on home experiments. Lifestyle upgrades and medical care work well together. They are not rivals. People with kidney disease, liver disease, or those who are pregnant should tailor these steps with a clinician who knows their history. When in doubt, personalization beats guesswork. By now, you can see the pattern. Calm, repeatable habits, fiber-anchored meals, more plants, smarter drinks, kinder seasoning, and small daily movement. Change the background chemistry the liver uses to set the body's pressure tone. The result isn't dramatic fireworks, it's a steady reshaping of the soundtrack. That's how real-life health improvements last. We're about to apply these principles to a single, simple preparation that ties liver support and blood pressure friendliness together, using everyday ingredients and precise amounts so you can enjoy the benefits without overdoing it. The following tip is among the most important ones in this journey. Ignoring it won't just reduce your results, it can introduce avoidable side effects. I'll keep it informative and balanced so you can apply it safely. You've already begun quieting the background noise by choosing fiber-anchored meals, smarter drinks, and kinder seasoning. Now let's shine a calm light on everyday saboteurs that look harmless, even healthy, yet make the liver work harder and nudge pressure upward. Think of them as tiny pebbles in your shoes. One or two seems trivial, a handful ruins the walk. Start with the sweet stuff that doesn't taste that sweet. Large iced coffees with flavored syrups, energy drinks, and vitamin beverages can pile on added sugars or intense sweeteners. The liver has to process that rush, often pushing more fat storage and fluid retention. A steady swap helps. Order coffee without syrups. Choose unsweetened iced tea with lemon, or dilute fruit juice half and half with cold water. That single adjustment lowers the workload without asking you to break a cherished routine. Another quiet culprit is portion creep. A bagel the size of a plate, a bottomless basket of chips during Friday tacos, or the casual refill of soda at a roadside diner can all set the stage for higher pressure later in the evening. When portions grow, sodium and quick-burning carbs ride along. Use a visual anchor. Aim for a palm-sized serving of protein, 2 palms of vegetables, and a cupped hand of whole grains or beans. Keep the flavor big and the salt modest by leaning on acids, lemon, lime, vinegar, and aromatics, garlic, onion, fresh herbs, black pepper. Let's address something surprising. Natural does not mean neutral. Real licorice made with glycyrrhizin, sometimes found in traditional candies, teas, and herbal blends, can elevate blood pressure when used regularly. Certain concentrated supplements marketed for fat burning or detox can irritate the liver in susceptible people. High-dose green tea extracts are a known example. Tea itself, brewed moderately, is usually well tolerated. The takeaway is simple. Stick to labeled dosages, vary your teas, and favor foods over capsules whenever possible. If you have liver or kidney disease, are pregnant, or take prescription medications, personalize choices with a clinician who knows your history. Sodium hides in cheerful places. Rotisserie chicken can be soaked in brine. A healthy turkey sandwich may rely on deli meat preserved with salt, plus pickles and a sauced roll. Even breakfast items, frozen burritos, biscuits, or breakfast bowls, often carry a sodium payload that exceeds what your body can comfortably handle in one sitting. Keep a calm, quick filter at the store. Choose packaged foods where the sodium in milligrams is less than or equal to the calories per serving. Then layer flavor with citrus, vinegars, smoked paprika, mustard powder, and herbs. Your palate adapts within weeks. Caffeine timing matters, not only the amount. A tall coffee with dessert or an energy drink late afternoon tightens vessels for some people and can unsettle sleep, which indirectly pushes pressure higher. Try a simple guideline. Keep your last caffeinated drink early afternoon and pair caffeine with real food, oatmeal, nuts, yogurt, or a sandwich on whole grain bread to smooth the impact. If you love the cafe ritual, ask for cinnamon on top instead of syrup and skip the whipped topping. That tiny pivot pays back all day. Cooking methods can either help the liver or crowd it. Deep-fried wings and heavily charred meats add compounds the body has to manage. Grilling can still be your friend. Marinate proteins in lemon, garlic, herbs, and olive oil. Grill over moderate heat and pile on vegetables. The flavor is bold, the sodium is restrained, and the after-dinner water retention is lower. Roasting vegetables on a sheet pan with olive oil, pepper, and a splash of vinegar gives the same satisfaction with less fuss. Consider your afternoon grazing lane. Cookies in the office kitchen, pretzels in the car, or candy at the checkout create a drip of quick sugars and refined starches. Replace the habit with a bowl of berries, a small apple with natural peanut butter, or a handful of unsalted nuts. If you tend to crave crunchy, roasted chickpeas or air-popped popcorn with a squeeze of lime and smoked paprika, delivers the experience with far less sodium. A word about hydration balance. Chugging liters of water is not a cure. Sipping steadily throughout the day is kinder to your system. Sparkling water with a squeeze of citrus, herbal teas brewed at a mild strength, or plain water flavored with mint or cucumber cover most situations. If you exercise in the heat, a small pinch of salt in a large bottle or a low-sugar electrolyte mix can be reasonable. The aim is balance, not extremes. This is education, not a prescription. Do not change or stop medications without medical guidance. People with kidney disease, liver disease, or those who are pregnant should individualize all of these ideas with a professional. What matters most is consistency. Predictable habits that support the liver's quiet chemistry and make steady blood pressure readings more likely. Here's your practical takeaway. Refine the inputs your liver sees most: sugary drinks, sodium concentrate foods, late caffeine, and portion creep, while amplifying flavor with herbs, acids, and gentle cooking methods. You'll feel the difference in energy, sleep, and that subtle sense of lightness after meals. The following tip is among the most important ones in this journey. Ignoring it won't just reduce your results, it can introduce avoidable side effects. I'll keep it informative and balanced so you can apply it safely. You've cleared space by dialing down the quiet saboteurs. Now let's stack the plate with what actively helps. Think of 3 levers you can pull in ordinary American life without giving up your favorite gatherings: fiber, potassium, and polyphenols. Each one nudges the liver toward smooth handling of sugars and fats, keeps vessels more responsive, and makes daily salt exposure less overwhelming. None is flashy. All are reliable. Start with fiber because it changes the texture of your day. Soluble fiber, in particular, acts like a soft sponge in the gut, slowing sugar absorption and binding substances the liver would otherwise need to process. The simplest way to lift intake is to anchor meals with a fiber element you enjoy. Warm oatmeal cooked thick and topped with blueberries and a spoonful of ground flaxseed. A lunchtime bowl with beans, brown rice, roasted peppers and onions. And a dollop of guacamole. A dinner built around a hearty chili or a tray of roasted vegetables beside a baked potato dressed with olive oil, pepper, and fresh herbs. If beans sometimes cause discomfort, use the latter approach. Start with a few tablespoons, rinse canned beans very well, and increase gradually. Your gut adapts. The liver appreciates the help. Next comes potassium, a mineral that helps balance sodium's effects on fluid and vessel tone. You can increase it with whole foods you already recognize: bananas, citrus, melon, tomatoes, potatoes with the skin, leafy greens, and beans. One realistic pivot is swapping a salty side for a potassium-rich one. Roasted sweet potato wedges with smoked paprika instead of fries. Tomato cucumber salad with lemon and olive oil instead of chips. Or a banana and a handful of unsalted nuts instead of a pastry. A calm caution. If you have chronic kidney disease or take medicines that affect potassium, you need personalized guidance on portions. Balance is beautiful, but it's not one size fits all. Polyphenols are plant compounds that quietly support blood vessels and metabolic balance. You meet them in berries, cherries, grapes, extra virgin olive oil, dark leafy greens, and teas. A practical way to bring them in is to color code your grocery cart. A pint of blueberries or strawberries, a bag of baby spinach, a bottle of good olive oil, a box of hibiscus or green tea, and a sack of onions and garlic. These staples slide into American routines with ease: morning oatmeal, lunch salads and grain bowls, dinner skillet meals, weekend grilling platters. If you enjoy tea, keep it moderate. For hibiscus, a simple kitchen method is 1 tablespoon of dried petals for about 8 ounces of hot water, steeped 5-7 minutes, and enjoyed warm or iced. People with very low blood pressure, those who are pregnant, or anyone on medications should personalize tea choices with a professional. The theme remains the same. Guided variety beats megadoses. Flavor is not the enemy, it is your ally. Use acid and aroma to reduce your drift toward the salt shaker. Squeeze half a lemon over roasted vegetables. Splash red wine vinegar on a bean salad. Whisk olive oil with apple cider vinegar and mustard for a fast dressing, or rub garlic and smoked paprika into chicken before grilling. The tongue lights up, and you sidestep a sodium spike. For backyard barbecues, thread skewers of mushrooms, onions, zucchini, and peppers, brush with olive oil, and finish with lemon and black pepper. Set a bowl of fresh herbs on the table, cilantro, parsley, dill, and let people pinch and sprinkle. That ritual creates restaurant-level brightness without hidden brines. Now let's turn these levers into repeatable habits. Build a weekly fiber ladder by portioning 4 containers on Sunday: cooked oats, a bean dish, chopped vegetables, and a fruit medley. Keep a clear water bottle on your desk and add a wedge of citrus or a few frozen berries. Rotate teas through the week to avoid over-reliance on any one type. Pre-mix a salt-free spice blend in a small jar: paprika, garlic powder, onion powder, dried thyme, dried oregano, black pepper, and a touch of lemon zest, and keep it next to the stove. When you reach for flavor, it's there. You won't miss the shaker. Meal timing supports the chemistry you're building. Try finishing dinner 2 to 3 hours before bed and take a 10-minute walk afterward. It's not about burning calories. It's about sending a calm metabolic signal. If evenings are busy, youth sports, commute traffic, late classes, pack a fiber-rich snack to keep the gap between meals manageable. An apple and almonds, carrots and hummus, or Greek yogurt with a few berries. These small bridges prevent the ravenous decision that often leads to ultra-processed fast food and a sodium avalanche. Movement weaves the whole plan together. A brisk walk after lunch, light resistance bands while dinner roasts, dancing while you batch cook vegetables. These microbursts act like tiny pumps that keep vessels responsive and blood sugar steady. You don't need perfection or long gym sessions to send the right signal to your liver. You need consistency and a sense of play. As with everything in this series, treat these ideas as education, not a prescription. If you take blood pressure medicine or other prescriptions, do not stop or change doses on your own. People with kidney or liver disease or those who are pregnant should tune portions and food choices with a clinician who knows their history. Safety and results can live in the same plan. The everyday picture becomes simple. Build meals around fiber, invite potassium-rich foods onto the plate, and color your day with polyphenol-dense plants and olive oil. Layer flavor with citrus and herbs and keep salt in the background. Your energy steadies, sleep improves, and the cuff readings often follow. The following tip is among the most important ones in this journey. Ignoring it won't just reduce your results. It can introduce avoidable side effects. I'll keep it informative and balanced so you can apply it safely. You've spent time building a plate that supports the liver. More plants, steadier fiber, smarter seasoning. Now it's time to make these choices live easily in real North American routines. Office lunches, freeway commutes, Sunday football spreads, backyard cookouts, and the weeknight squeeze between work and bedtime. The aim is not to create a perfect diet. It's to create a repeatable rhythm that keeps pressure in a calmer range while your energy, sleep, and digestion quietly improve. Start by giving yourself a 5-second filter every time you pick a packaged food. Turn the package, look at the per-serving line, and check 2 things: sodium in milligrams and calories. If the sodium number is less than or equal to the calories, it usually plays nicer with blood pressure. Pair that filter with one more quick decision. Scan added sugars and aim for 5 grams per serving or less. This simple combo guards your cart from health halo items that talk a good game on the front label but play a different sport on the back. Let's make breakfast work for you instead of against you. Many Americans lean on cereal and coffee drinks that act like sugar delivery systems. Trade the cereal for oatmeal cooked thicker than you think, then fold in ground flaxseed, cinnamon, and a handful of blueberries. If you need grab and go, stir oats, chia, and unsweetened yogurt in a jar at night and top with chopped apple in the morning. Coffee can stay, just skip the flavor syrups and whipped cream. If you enjoy cream, use a measured splash and savor it rather than chasing sweetness with more syrup. Midday, the most practical anchor is a bowl. Build it in layers: beans or lentils, brown rice or quinoa, roasted vegetables, some crunchy raw vegetables, and a spoon of guacamole or olive oil-based dressing. Season with a salt-free blend and a squeeze of lime. If you're ordering at a fast casual spot, ask for extra beans and vegetables and a light hand with cheese and sauces. Keep tortillas or bread on the side. You can still enjoy them, but leading with fiber and plants helps the liver handle the rest. For snacks, think about function. You want to bridge you to the next meal without a sugar spike and without tempting you toward the vending machine. A small apple with natural peanut butter, a handful of unsalted nuts, carrots with hummus, or air-popped popcorn tossed with smoked paprika, and a squeeze of lime do the trick. If your workplace is famous for donuts and cookies, keep a bowl of berries or a tangerine on your desk. Small visual cues reduce impulse decisions. Dinner is where many households slide into ultra-processed shortcuts out of fatigue. You can still keep it fast without surrendering flavor. Try a sheet pan habit. Toss chopped vegetables, broccoli, peppers, onions, zucchini, with olive oil, black pepper, garlic powder, and a shake of your salt-free blend. Roast at high heat while you sear lean protein in a skillet or warm a pot of bean chili. Finish with a splash of vinegar or lemon juice. The pop you expect from salt arrives from acid instead, and your taste buds learn quickly. Backyard cookouts and tailgates don't have to be sodium festivals. Marinate chicken thighs or fish in lemon, garlic, herbs, and olive oil. Grill over moderate heat to avoid heavy charring. Thread skewers with mushrooms, onions, and bell peppers for a smoky, meaty bite that's naturally low in sodium. Serve a big bowl of tomato-cucumber salad dressed with olive oil and red wine vinegar. Keep pickles as a condiment choice rather than a default side. And set out a jar of a bold, salt-free rub so people can add flavor at the table rather than in the brine. Portion sense helps more than perfection. Use a palm for protein, 2 palms for vegetables, and a cupped hand for whole grains or beans. That simple visual keeps meals satisfying without the quiet creep of sodium and quick-burning starches. If you go out for diner breakfasts or late-night burgers, ask for dressings and sauces on the side and split extra-large portions. You're not restricting, you're steering. Evening rhythm counts. Try to finish dinner 2 to 3 hours before bed and take a relaxed 10-minute walk. Think of it as shutting down the kitchen lights for your metabolism. If the schedule runs late, kids' practices, long commutes, exam prep, pack a small fiber-rich snack for the return trip so you're not making decisions while hungry. A banana and almonds, a small container of bean salad, or Greek yogurt with a few berries are all better than raiding the cupboard at 10:30 p.m. Hydration habits can be gentle and effective. Keep a clear bottle nearby and refill it steadily. Sparkling water with lime makes a satisfying swap for a second soda at lunch. If you enjoy tea, brew it moderate rather than ultra-strong, and rotate flavors through the week. Real licorice products can raise blood pressure if used regularly. Keep them occasional. If you exercise in heat, use a low-sugar electrolyte mix or a small pinch of salt in a large bottle. Balance matters more than extremes. Movement stitches the whole plan together. 10 squats before you start the shower, a brisk walk at lunch, resistance bands while vegetables roast, dancing during cleanup. None are heroic, all are helpful. Regular, light muscle work acts like a pump, keeping vessels responsive and sugars steadier. That mechanical signal complements everything you've done on the plate. A word about safety. delivered calmly. Lifestyle upgrades and medical care work together. Do not stop or change medications without advice from your clinician. People with kidney or liver disease or those who are pregnant should tailor portions and ingredients with professional guidance. Measuring and preparation matter. A natural recipe made with heavy-handed seasoning can be as sodium-dense as a takeout meal. By now you've noticed the pattern. Simple, repeatable choices, fiber anchors, smart swaps, measured seasoning, acid for brightness, tiny movement snacks, reduce the load on the liver and help blood pressure settle into a healthier range. Keep these tools close. They turn everyday moments into opportunities for steady improvement. The following tip is among the most important ones in this journey. Ignoring it won't just reduce your results. It can introduce avoidable side effects. I'll keep it informative and balanced so you can apply it safely. You've cleared the path and practiced the moves. Now, let's bring the work together with a single preparation that supports the liver, plays nicely with blood pressure goals, and fits into weekday life. I call it a 3x3 because the structure is easy to remember and hard to mess up when you're busy. It's also a reminder that in health, consistency beats intensity. Here's the core idea. Combine one source of natural nitrates or crisp hydration, one citrus or berry for polyphenols and potassium, and one gentle carb anchor. Then add 2 fiber boosters and a small aromatic spark. The outcome is a balanced blend that slows sugar absorption, supports vessel responsiveness, and keeps you full enough to skip the vending machine detour. For one serving, do not strain. The fiber is the key. Start with half of a small raw beet, peeled and cubed, or half a cup of cooked beet if you prefer a softer flavor. Add 1 medium orange with the pith left on, where practical, or 3/4 of a cup of strawberries. Add half a small banana. If you want a lower sugar profile, swap in 1/4 of a medium avocado. Add 1 tablespoon of old-fashioned oats and 1 tablespoon of ground flaxseed. Add a thin slice of fresh ginger, about 2 centimeters. Pour in 250 to 300 milliliters of cold water or unsweetened coconut water, add a few ice cubes, and blend until smooth. Sip slowly and enjoy it as a mid-morning or mid-afternoon snack or alongside a meal. Preparation details matter. Wash produce thoroughly. If you're using cooked beets, cool them completely before blending. Keep flaxseed refrigerated once ground. Do not add honey or syrups. Your palate will recalibrate in a week or 2. If you have a history of kidney stones and are watching oxalates, swap the beet for half a peeled cucumber and a squeeze of lemon. If you live with diabetes and prefer a lower glycemic load, favor strawberries over banana, or reduce the banana to a few slices and use more ice and water for texture. Pairing matters too. This blend is not a meal replacement. It's a supportive addition. Combine it with meals that feature protein and vegetables. Think grilled salmon with a tray of roasted vegetables, or a bowl built from beans, brown rice, and crunchy peppers. That combination keeps fullness steady and prevents you from treating the blend like a magic fix. No single blend is a cure. The cure-like effect comes from the pattern you've already built. A calm safety note. If you take anticoagulants, have chronic kidney or liver disease, or are pregnant, personalize these suggestions with a clinician who knows your history. Natural compounds still act on the body. More is not better. If you feel dizzy or overly full after the blend, reduce the portion or shift the timing to accompany a meal. Treat your body's feedback as data, not drama. Now for the promised bonus that makes everyday meals safer for blood pressure without sacrificing flavor. Mix a bold, salt-free barbecue rub you can dust over vegetables, fish, or lean meats before grilling or roasting. In a small jar, combine 2 tablespoons smoked paprika, 1½ tablespoons garlic powder, 1 tablespoon onion powder, 1 tablespoon dried oregano, 1 tablespoon dried thyme, 1 teaspoon freshly ground black pepper, and 1 teaspoon finely grated lemon zest that has been dried on a plate for a few hours. Seal and shake. Use about 1 teaspoon per portion before cooking and another light sprinkle after cooking if you want more aroma. Taste first before reaching for salt. You'll be surprised how bright it feels. Complete the bonus with a 15-second label checklist you can memorize and teach your family. First, glance at sodium. Prefer less than 140 milligrams per serving when possible, and be cautious above 400. Second, check added sugars. Aim for 5 grams or less per serving, especially for snacks and breakfast items. Third, scan the ingredient list. The shorter and more familiar, the better. If you see high fructose corn syrup, several forms of sugar, or flavor enhancers listed early, consider another option. Fourth, apply the quick rule of thumb from earlier. Choose foods where the sodium number in milligrams is less than or equal to the calories per serving. These tiny steps add up across a week of lunches, tailgates, and drive-thru detours. Let's bring the story to your table. Picture a weeknight. You blend the 3x3 as you preheat the oven. Vegetables hit the sheet pan with olive oil, pepper, and a sprinkle of your new rub. Chicken thighs take a short bath in lemon, garlic, and herbs. Then go to the grill. 10 minutes of movement while things cook, a loop around the block or gentle bands in the living room, signals your vessels to stay responsive. Dinner lands with color, crunch, and calm. You sleep better. Your morning energy has fewer jagged edges. The next grocery run feels simpler because your rules are clear and you know why they matter. None of this replaces your doctor's advice. Do not stop or change medications on your own. If labs or symptoms worry you, seek care. This is education designed to make the healthy path easier to walk, not a substitute for professional evaluation. The best results come when you combine sound guidance with steady, human-sized habits day after day. If this journey has helped you rethink the quiet role your liver plays in blood pressure, and given you tools you can use in a diner, a convenience store, a big box grocery, or your own backyard, pass it forward. Share what you learned with someone who loves tailgates and BBQ, someone who's busy and stressed, someone who thinks healthy food must taste bland. Save these steps, like, and subscribe so more people can find practical, respectful information they can use tonight. The following tip is among the most important ones in this journey. Ignoring it won't just reduce your results, it can introduce avoidable side effects. I'll keep it informative and balanced so you can apply it safely.